What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to Some Dungeon Defenders 2. It's been a little while since I've done a Path of Progression video, and with new players constantly coming to the game, I do get asked questions quite frequently of how do you progress, where should you go next, what should you be doing. So let's go over that a bit today. First off, all the action, of course, is going to take place from the war table. As you see across the top, we've got multiple game modes, starting with Campaign, then Adventures, Expeditions, Onslaught, Mastery, and Incursions. Now, when you first get started into DD2, you're going to be going through the Campaign at first. Now, once you kill Betsy in the Wyvern Den, you are going to be done with the Campaign. Now, at this point, you're going to be anywhere from about like level 30 to level 40, and your campaign will be completed. Now, of course, you can redo any of these maps at your leisure and, do them as many times as you want to try to improve your gear that you have. However, once you do complete campaign, your next best step is going to be to jump into adventure mode. Now, adventure mode is going to give you a little idea of some of the puzzles to come later in the game, mainly through Incursions. And after your campaign, where you're level 30 to level 40, you're going to want to complete at least a few maps in adventure mode to get yourself up to level 50. Now, once you get to level 50, then it is time to move on, and this is where you get some choices. Now, first things first, once you complete this stage, you get to level 50, you're ready to jump into either Expeditions or Onslaught. You have now entered a game of hard counters. Now, what I mean by that there are certain enemies that projectile defenses are just not going to work with. There are certain enemies where ground traps, auras, or nodes are just not going to work with. And you want to adjust your builds to meet these enemies. Now, using the base of the game, of course, is using the correct counter tower, which means if you have, say, an enemy that is going to disable your traps, then of course don't use traps. Use towers instead, like cannonballs or poison dart towers or flamethrowers or earth shatters. However, this is now the game. Now, in addition to just using the correct defense, of course there are always mods and shards, which will come later on, that will help you match these counters. Now, at this point, you just hit level 50, and you've got a choice. You can go Expeditions, or you can go Onslaught mode. Onslaught mode is going to be a regular or a random challenge that's different every single time you queue it up. The lanes will always be different, and each of the lanes do have mutators. This is a floor-based system. Once you beat a floor, you unlock the next floor, and you can keep moving up. Expeditions is a game mode that is divided by 7 chaos tiers, chaos 1 through 7, and each tier is going to introduce one of these hard counter enemies that I mentioned earlier. As you see in Chaos 1, you've got Vanguards, which Vanguards are highly trained deflection experts and masters of frontal shield defensive tactics. That means that this particular enemy you're not really going to want to use projectile towers against. So cannonballs, poison dart towers, those sorts of things, you're best off to stay away from those and go with defenses that will directly chew this enemy up and penetrate that shield. So defenses like flamethrowers, earth shatter towers, flame auras, and lightning strike auras from the monk are all great choices here. Now, the main thing with Expeditions is this will be the main enemy that you encounter on every single map you play. So no matter what region you go to and what map you go to, the map is going to be completely full of those particular enemies. Now, each tier, of course, is going to introduce a new enemy, and the descriptions are all listed right here on the war table. So as you go through, you can check those descriptions out and see what is the best counter for the defenses that you currently have geared. Now, one of the main differences between Expeditions and Onslaught mode is Expeditions is going to allow you to learn the mobs, learn these special chaos enemies that have these hard counters, as you're going to be dealing with them constantly. Onslaught, it's always going to be random, so you're not going to get introduced to the mobs one at a time. You're not going to, have an abundance of the same mob on every single floor, and it can lead to some confusion. Now, depending on what path you want to take, do you want to fly through, get to endgame as quick as you can, and you're not concerned with learning all of the countered mobs? Then Onslaught is probably for you. You can do 24 maps, go from floor 1 to floor 24, and that is going to allow you to unlock the highest mode in the game, which is the Chaos 7 Expeditions. Now, as you go through in Expeditions, to unlock the next tier, it's going to be based off of your champion score. Your champion score is the number directly at the top of your deck that is given a score based off of your highest gear scored hero. So as we see, my champion score is 8347. My highest gear scored hero is my monk here, and as you see there, it's 8347. Now, each tier is going to unlock based off of your champion score, so it's just straight up a gear grind. As you grind gear, you're going to constantly get improvements. These improvements are going to allow you to climb through the various expeditions from Chaos 1, Chaos 2, Chaos 3, and etc. Now, once again, Onslaught mode is going to be a random set. Once you beat a floor, you've unlocked the next floor, so all you have to do is jump right on up to the next floor there. Like I said, it's really completely up to you. Do you want to fly through the game? Do you want to take your time and learn all of the mobs in the game and the enemies? It's going to take considerably longer for you to get to that Chaos 7 mark if you go through Expeditions than it would Onslaught. However, you're going to learn a whole lot more in Expeditions. Now, in addition to that, Onslaught doesn't drop as much gear, so you're not going to get as much loot in Onslaught as you would in Expedition mode. In addition to that as well, Expedition mode drops more gold and more experience, so you're going to level up faster in Expeditions than you will in Onslaught, and you're going to find more gear. More gear, of course, means more mods and the chance of getting a good mod. So really, it is your choice what you decide to go through, Expeditions or Onslaught. Now, Mastery mode is a special challenge mode that has various reward tiers as you progress through. Each different map is going to have its own set of challenges. We see, say, this Chaos 1 Dragonfall Castle map, Assault on Throne Room. These are the challenges we're going to have to complete to get through that map and earn the available stars. Mastery mode can be easy, or it can be quite challenging depending on your shards and your gear. You can't overgear in Mastery, as you will be scaled down to the appropriate level. So say you were in full Chaos 7 gear and hopped into Chaos 1 Mastery, your gear will be scaled down to Chaos 1. So Mastery is really about having the shards and the mods you want up front to make these challenges much easier. Now, I'm not saying you can't go through these. To unlock Chaos 1 Mastery, you just have to complete one Chaos 1 Expedition, and that is unlocked for you. So you can always jump right into Mastery and give it a shot. However, it is going to be much more challenging if you don't have shards and mods collected up. Now, Incursions are kind of the side puzzle mode. These particular maps don't get done very often. The Incursions are going to have the chance of dropping a special weapon, as you see listed below. With very few exceptions, not many of them are exceptional. So these are mainly just novelty items. They're not items that you want to farm or that you directly need. Once you complete an expedition and you unlock the available weapon that drops on that map, then there's going to be a wayfarer. The little dwarf in town is then going to sell that weapon to you at your appropriate level. Meaning, of course, if we do a Chaos 3 expedition, and say we do the Kobold Blinking, the special item that's going to drop is this Blinking Bow. However, it's going to be at Chaos 3 level. So if we're Chaos 7 and we want this Blinking Bow, we can go and buy it directly from that wayfarer in town after this particular incursion has been completed. So in short, start off in campaign, go to adventure modes till you hit level 50, then make a choice. Do you want to do expeditions? Do you want to do Onslaught? You can bounce back and forth, do whatever you want. Make sure you're enjoying what you're doing, and choose whichever route you decide to take. Once you get shards collected up, give Mastery a try and unlock some of these special rewards available, and then completely optional, but if you choose to, go ahead and hop into Incursions and unlock some of the special weapons. So hopefully this helps answer some questions about Mastery Mode in Dungeon Defenders 2 and just progression in general. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to get them answered for you. But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. This is the #1 source on YouTube for Dungeon Defenders 2 related information and the upcoming Dungeon Defenders Awakened. So if you want to hear any fresh news of what's going on in the Dungeon Defenders world, this is the place for you. So thank you all once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.